it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you for joining me again today. Today I have got this little project. It's a 4x4 card, which means that whether you're using International A4 or 8.5 by 11, you can get 2 out of 1 sheet of your standard cardstock. It is using the Forever Lovely stamp set and the matching designer series paper, which is gorgeous. I'm only using 2 sheets, or 2 designs I should say, rather than 2 sheets. Actually no, technically 3. So I've got this lovely crumb cake background, just a little flurry bit, which I've used in the background, and it's the other side of this kind of solid. Mind you, I think both of those are sort of solid. I'm also using this, obviously, which has got the hearts on the back with the flowers in, and then I have already fussy cut from the back of this some of the flowers and the leaves, which is what I've used for this. I'm also using some of the ribbon from the Duo pack. I'm using this lovely Flirty Flamingo. It's really sheer. It's more sheer than our sheer ribbon, if that makes sense. So we have in the annual catalogue our sheer ribbon, and this is even more sheer. I want to say sheerer, but sheer is not a word. Anyway, I'm also using some of the dies, which I stupidly didn't keep the dies to hand. Where have they gone? I've buried them. No change there. Here we go. Lovely Flowers edge-lit dies. I need to put these onto magnetic sheets so I can keep them in the box. I'm only actually using 1 stamp today, which is the Wishing You a Lovely Day, which I've got on the outside here. But I am using, as I say, quite a few of the edge-lit dies, and I will be using these again, I have no doubt, so there will be more for you to see on these, and also on these. So, first things first, all of the dimensions, as ever, will be in the blog post, which is linked immediately below. Well, I say it's linked immediately below. Below in the description bar, you will see that there is a link to my blog, which is the post for this particular project. So you will go straight there, none of this having to worry about what date it is and any of that malarkey. It will go straight there. That will have all the dimensions, and they will be in both imperial and metric. I tend to work across both, so yeah. Today's are basically going to be an imperial. So let's just very quickly go through this. We've got a 4x4 card, so we've got a 4x8 base, and this is in Flirty Flamingo, because it is one of the pinks in the set. The other pink is Lovely Lipstick. We've got a piece of the designer series paper cut at 3 7/8 square. This tiny piece is cut at 1 inch by 3 3/4, and then we've got a couple of fussy cut pieces from the other designer series paper. And I've also got 13.5 inches of ribbon and a liner, because writing on Flirty Flamingo is not a fun idea, and this is also cut at 3 7/8. You will also need another piece of Whisper White, because we obviously need something for this. Now, I have done some of the prep for this, because it does take 3 passes through the Big Shot in order to do it. Certainly I've found that that's the most effective way of doing it. So I'm going to start with that, just to show you how to... I'm going to show you how to start, and then I'm going to show you how to finish. So I'm using my magnetic base plate. I have... This is just a scrap. It is not a big enough piece for what we need to do. But just start by lining up into a corner, and this is one of the dies that cuts on the outside edge. So your final cut, it will cut the lovely filigree edging, but this final outside edge is the outside of the die. So you don't want to do that, is what I mean. So let's line that up and try and get this as square as possible here. You can draw on your card, but then you are going to have to get your pencil marks off. so just bear that in mind. You may see that I've got new cutting plate for the top. I always rotate my cutting plate, so my top plate becomes my bottom plate once my bottom plate is manky. So yes, so I'm just going to run that through because I want to show you how I then cut my tag to size. So let's pop this off. I will worry about getting all the little bits out at another stage. It cuts really easily because I have, she says famous last words, it has cut really easily. It cuts really easily because I've got new plate. You often find that if your cutting stops being great, then you just need to change your plates because they kind of compress. If you're having problems, the first thing I would do is run your dies through twice rather than once, and you will find that that is a little bit, gives it just another go, particularly if you move where they are on your big shot, because the big shot gives a reasonably even pressure, but nothing can be absolutely the same everywhere. So, my tips for this. So you've got your cut in the top here, and the first thing I'm going to do is cut off the bits that are obviously going to go, and then actually I'll do this one, which one shall I do first? I'll do this one first. So I am going to try and get this square. So I'm lining this up so that this line is square, not this, but this is square, and that is kind of key. So is that square? That looks sort of square, and then you can feel that you're going into the start of the cut. And then here's the trick. Look, it fits in your gap. It fits in that little gap. So now you can, using your square edge, because this is square, you can come in with your blade, get into that gap and trim. And then if you turn it over, oh no, that was me thinking if you turned it over it would be fine. But so that's that one you can do, and then from there on you can just trim down, because we now know, well, what do we know? We know this is straight and we know this is straight. So you now, that's what I was doing. Duh. It's very sad. No, that's not what I was doing. What was I doing? I had a lovely trick for you, and I now can't work it out in my head. That's a straight edge. We've done that straight edge. So that's a straight edge. I need that to go. That's how I'm doing. No, 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 no. This is train wreck television, isn't it? That actually isn't. Is that square? Let me see if that is square. Using the grid. Yeah, that's pretty square. So that is square. So that I think all I did actually was then, that's what I did, isn't it sad when your brain just isn't working? So you want to find grid lines that are where you want your line to be, and just hold really hard to get your next straight edge, and then you can use that to get your final straight edge. That's what I was trying to explain. My brain just wasn't working. So that's how you do it. Did that make sense? I hope it did. It's only taken 9 minutes to get this far. Anyway, so that's kind of how you do that bit. And then you get your little dotty corners. You only have 2 dotty corners, and I will show you what you do, because that's the next bit that we're going to be doing. So I've done here's one I've sort of prepared earlier. So I've already done 2 corners. To do the last corner, we just pop our tag down, and then I use a bit of washi tape, even though I've got my magnetic base plate, just to make sure, because this is what happens with your magnetic base plate, particularly with the smaller dies, they have a life of their own. So what I tend to do is put my die where I want it in the corner, add my piece of washi tape, preferably so that everything is square, and just stick that down, and now I can run this through my Big Shot knowing that that corner is going to be square. Now the rest of the card you will be delighted to hear doesn't take too long. So that's that. So let's peel that out, and I'll worry about getting the dots out later, but that is our beautiful tag for the top. Then I just need one ink pad. I'm using Crumb Cake, and the Wishing You a Lovely Day stamp, which fits beautifully. Now I'm coming slightly down because I'm going to have bits at the top, so let's pop that so that it is square. That's always a novel idea, isn't it? That looks square. Now obviously you could use your Stamparatus for this, that would make sure you were definitely square, but that looks pretty square to me. So that is that done. So now all we need to do is pop our card together. So I've already scored the card base, so all I need to do is fold that, then grab my snail, add my Designer Series paper to the front of my card, add my other piece of Designer Series paper on top of that, and this has pattern going in both directions, so I just tend to work out which one seems to be the prominent direction. Now that should be the middle. I'm not too worried that it's absolutely in the middle, but I like to have a, you know, vague idea. So that's that. Then for the ribbon, I just add a few strips of snail, yep, within where the tag is going to go, and then at a diagonal. Now this is really flimsy ribbon, which is great for this because you can just flop it in any direction you want. Just make sure that all the layers have got something to stick to. So there we are. Right, now our fussy cut pieces are going to go here. I may need to trim that down a bit. Oh, no, that'll be okay. That will be okay. I might just take those bottom two off. So that's going to go there, that's going to go there. Now my trick for this is, having established where they're going to go without dropping them in the process, is to... I've got the drops today, haven't I? Turn them over and grab yourself a dimensional and then use the dimensional as the adhesive for sticking one to t'other, and then they're both raised up, and then you can just pop that where you want it, just there, and then turn over, and it doesn't matter that that's showing because we're going to need some support there anyway, so let's pop a dimensional over there, and then this is perfect for using up these edge pieces because you want pieces that are going to go into those corners. That's going to go ones. And then just one more in the middle, and that will give proper support. Because this is just the what I would call standard Whisper White, I do like to give a little more support because it is a little less robust than the thick Whisper White. If you're using thick Whisper White, then you probably don't need as many dimensionals. And then just pop that over the top, making sure it's sort of square. And then the final thing to do is to pop our liner in. Now if you want this, this is an anything card. I think that this is an any occasion card. It's wishing you a lovely day. So it can be for anything. I'm seeing these actually as birthday cards rather than Valentine's cards. So don't think that the Forever Lovely is only for Valentine's. It's not. In fact, yes, you are loved. Easy. I love you until the day after forever. Yeah, it's a bit more schmaltzy, but nothing there says Valentine's as such. It is just a happy, lovely set. Thank you very much indeed for watching. I hope you found that reasonably useful. Sorry about the train wreck TV at the beginning. If you did enjoy it, in spite of everything, please give it a thumbs up. Remember, everything, including close-ups, will be on the blog, which is below. If you don't already subscribe, please do hit the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner. And then if you want email notifications, go over to my channel, and next to the subscribe button, there is a notification bell. And if you hit that, you'll get an email when I post a video. Otherwise, it just goes into your subscribe list in YouTube, and it'll show that the number will just increase. If you don't already subscribe to my newsletter and would like to, that's over on my blog, and you can also subscribe to my blog posts over there as well. When you want to shop with me, please do remember to use the host code, which is in the information below. If your order is over £150, please don't use the host code because you become your own host. But if you use the host code, then next month you will get a free product from me. I get all the rewards together, divide by the number of people who have shopped with me, and that is what I then spend per person, and then just send it out. I do not keep any of that for me. That goes to the people that have supported me through shopping and using the host code. And there's also Sunflower Rewards. There's information about that over on my website as well. Remember, during Celebration, for every £45 you spend, you get to select something from the Celebration brochure. So this is a really, really good time to go shopping. And if you put in a very large order or get together with a group of friends, you get your Celebration rewards or items, so your £45 free items, and over £200 you get an additional £20 of stamping rewards. So again, information on that is over on my blog. Thank you very much indeed, and I will see you again soon.